Happy Sunday. Hi, James. Hi, Janet. How are you, Janet? Janet said, happy Sunday. Hope you had a great week. I did have a great week. It felt really long. But how are you guys getting back into things? Hi, Sally. Hey, C. Escobar. Hi, Pamela. Hey, Phil and Renee. We missed you last week. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week? Vic's birthday was really good. Thank you for asking. His birthday was really good. He's very expensive. They asked how your birthday is. I say you're very expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, Karen. Everybody's good. Just tired. Phil said football game. Sorry. Oh, so is there a football game every Sunday now? Like, I know football season is here. Is it every Sunday? Sally said I'm still recovering for the trip. I bet. What did we do for babe? What did we do for your birthday? Well, we went to Puerto Rico. That was his birthday trip because it's actually supposed to be a girls' trip, and he wanted to tag along. And his flight was very expensive because Bad Bunny was performing in Puerto Rico. Renee loves. Oh, thank you. These are my new set. This one already came. Wait, this one already came off on this one, so I'm gonna go back and be like, hey, I need my little gem. But yes, these are my new set, guys. You want to know something so funny? I went in with like telling myself, okay, I'm just gonna go super neutral, natural, right? Nothing too, nothing too big. Nope. I came out with these. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hi, Pedro. Hi, Blanca. Hi, Zenaida. Yes, you have a very unique name. I knew who you were. How are you? Karen said, recovering from my shoulder replacement surgery, but doing really good. Oh, my goodness. I hope you're being treated like a queen and not getting up and just being catered to. Blanca, you love them? Thank you. I'm so happy Blanca is relocating from up north, New Jersey. Got them a really nice house. All right, hold on. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Karen said, being treated well, but definitely up doing little things for myself. We always, yes, we always have to make sure that we we could do some things ourselves. Sometimes we don't allow people to take care of us. Or you always feel like, you have to be moving and doing things. I felt that. Wait, Phil, so what time is football on Sundays? 6? Oh. My kid said 6 o'clock. No, Phil, you said football, right? Oh, 1 p.m. to 2. All day? Karen said football is all day depending on your team, and there's a WNBA tournament on as well. Oh my gosh. I'm not really big into like watching games and things like that. I've never really been, but I didn't even know that. All right. So if you're thinking about relocating to Florida, type Florida in the chat if it's on your radar. I know a lot of people. Type Florida if you're thinking about moving. Phil said, yeah, baby. And baseball playoffs. Oh my gosh. All right. Karen said Florida. Phil said Florida. Zenaida said Florida. Janice said Florida. Someday, Janet, someday better be like pretty soon. Janet, when's realistically, like, when's your time frame? What do you think? Pedro said it's a buyer's market. It's definitely a buyer's market right now. Not the sweet heat. The sweet heat is too much. We don't have the herb one anymore? You gotta order it, yeah. It is definitely a buyer's market where we're in. I've seen where, listings are sitting on the market. Malachi. He's pushing the basket. I've seen where listings are staying on the market. I actually have a really, really, really nice listing in Leesburg. And man, the owner, she put it really, she staged it really nice where it needs to be. But the market is slow for listings right now. Really, really, really slow. It's not impossible. People are still buying, right? But it's just taking a little bit longer. It's not COVID. Smells good. I think we got put onto Kinder. Anybody use Kinder? It smells good. It smells a little spicy. Oh, maybe it's that natural smoke flavor. What's a natural smoke flavor? And it has sunflower oil.
Nope.
Ancho chili. That's what's.
Yeah, ancho chili.
That's gonna be spicy. What? That was fast. Let me smell it.
Smells good.
Okay, well, stuff needs to go inside of it.
I didn't know your stuff.
Savory spice blend. I mean, sorry guys, hold on. Brown sugar, smoked paprika, salt, black pepper, granulated garlic, onion, chili pepper, cumin. I mean, it smells good, but I don't know if the chili pepper is gonna be soup. I mean, we could try it. That's a whole lot of chicken to be trying new seasonings on.
Let me know you want.
Mom, it's not like this.
There is hair stuff.
Where?
I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Janet said it's hard because of my kids, 16 and 13. Our biggest concern is school. It's tough at this age to move in trade schools. Yeah, no, I definitely get it, Janet. For real, for real. Karen said, for me, I would be buying beginning of next year, but don't want my daughter to change schools in high school junior year. So probably my end of 2027 or beginning of 2028, realistically speaking. Everybody has different needs, right? So like I said, oh, that's what I was saying. The houses are staying on the market for a little bit longer. Even if it's priced right, it's still staying on the market a little longer. And we, now that we're coming into like the holiday season, right, it tends to slow down because people are, focused on the holidays, right, and entertaining their family and things like that. So I mean, what we just gonna keep, marketing, and especially for the house that we're selling in Leesburg, we've had open houses for almost every weekend now that it's been on the market. But again, we're not in COVID years, right? It takes time to sell houses, but there's always a need, right? Whether somebody unfortunately passes away, or is getting separated from their spouse, or having a new baby, right? Or relocating because of a job or something like that, right? So I've had where most of my clients right now, they're relocating because they have job transfers, or they are able to work from home, so they're able to move kind of wherever they want. So that's always a good thing too, right? That flexibility, because I feel like before COVID, a lot of jobs didn't like their employees working from home, right? But I feel like the opportunity has come because of COVID, where a lot of jobs are either hybrid, or they're like, wow, you could actually work from home. Anybody works from home here? And I actually work with a lot of people who are retired too. So honestly, it doesn't matter where they live. I actually have one of my clients who is relocating from the Miami area, and they checked out Beverly Hills yesterday, and they absolutely loved it. They loved it, loved it, loved it. So they're going to be buying a house in Beverly Hills, but they're going to build from the ground up. What do we do? Okay. What do we do for work? Janet, you work in the school, right? Phil, what do you no, Phil, you do like heavy machinery. I feel like I remember. Blanca owns her business. Okay, see Escobar's Karen is retired. Ah, you retired, but you're waiting for your daughter. Got it. Now I understand. Escobar said, I'm retiring 2027 or 2028. Pamela's retired. Yes, all my retirees. Pedro said, my sister lives in Beverly Hills. There are a number of stores that have opened up lately. Yes, I really like Beverly Hills. I really, really do like Beverly Hills. So when they went there, they were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Phil, okay, so Phil's retired. Renee works at Walmart. Renee, what do you do at Walmart? And then seeing if their daughter could get a job in Disney. I mean, Disney's always hiring. I used to work at Disney for 5 years as a secretary. I didn't start as a secretary, but I ended as a secretary. Man, working at Disney definitely had its perks, as far as free entrance, and those were nice. Overnight freight. Man, the people who work overnight, I give it to you guys because that's hard. That is really, it takes some conditioning, I think so. Um, Phil, so do I. Phil said his daughter has a degree in pastry arts. So do I. Actually went to Le Cordon Bleu. No, I was actually pregnant with my third son when I went to Le Cordon Bleu. See, Escobar said, I'm currently working in college police department. You do both? So I actually have a client who they're on the contract, they're building from the ground up. But he was a police officer, and then he went to school for nursing, and then now he works in a jail as a nurse. Okay, see, Escobar said yes. So he does he works in a college and a police department. Wow. Love it. Pamela said, do you have listings in Dunellen? I personally do not have listings in Dunellen, but there's so many listings in Dunellen that I can sell any of those listings. There are a lot of listings in Dunellen. Hi, Kelly. Oh yeah, I remember where you work. I love it. Well, builders are in Beverly Hills. So your big builders are Miranda Homes, Holiday Builders, Adams Homes builds in Beverly Hills, and then you have smaller builders. So I don't know if you remember, but one of the houses that that they build in Marion Oaks, where it's the 3-car garage one. It's a really, really nice home. Normally it's like priced at $399, $400,000 in Marion Oaks. They actually build in Beverly Hills too. I have one of my clients who they're relocating from Connecticut, and they love Beverly Hills. So we're under contract for one of those houses, and it's on an acre. So you have smaller builders, but you also have like the big builders. So I have a lot of clients who are under contract with Miranda Homes, and they're building from the ground up. So Miranda Home currently has like move-in ready homes, right? But like most of my clients didn't like let's just say, I don't know, there were specific things that they were looking for that the move-in ready homes didn't have, so they're just going to build from the ground up. You almost had me on the floor a while back when you said you would be on TV about the HOA. You ain't right about the HOA. Tell me, I don't know, I say so many things. See, Escobar said, my daughter loves Davenport, Florida. Well, I live in Davenport and I like it too. I really do. I just don't like my next house. I don't think I want to be in a community. Like, I think my next evolution is going to be, at least on maybe 2 acres. I want chickens, right? So I don't know where my next move is just yet. Katrina's been trying to get me down to Wesley Chapel, and I'm like, I don't want to go that way. I kind of want to, because I service a lot. I still service a lot of people in the Davenport, St. Cloud, Claremont, Ocala area, Orlando. So I don't know where my next move is. But yeah, Davenport, there's just so much things happening, coming up here, coming up. I love it. Haines City, they're just off of 27. They're building a new Target and things like that. So I love what's happening. I cleaned that today, babe. I cleaned that today. Well, yeah. Pedro said Beverly Hills was made larger when land was purchased from the golf course. Yeah, I really do like so most of my clients who are already retired, the ones who purchased in Beverly Hills, yeah, they're already retired, but they drove by it, and there isn't. So Pine Ridge in Beverly Hills does have an HOA, but it's super low. It's $95 for the year. But everybody has like they maintain their properties, right? Because sometimes, right, where you have areas that don't have HOAs, you don't have you don't really have control over, if they have 50 cars parked on the grass, or if they don't cut their grass and things like that. Where I feel like up north there's a lot of no HOA communities, and they're, for the most part, everybody's properties and landscaping are maintained. And I think it is because it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel, babe, can I get juice? I don't, did you touch meat with that? Oh, okay. I don't feel HOAs are prominent up north. So, it's nothing special when you don't live somewhere where it doesn't have an HOA and everybody upkeeps their property, right? As opposed to here where it's like, oh my gosh, there's no HOA, right? I'm going to live however I want to live. Yeah. See, Escobar said, I don't like HOA. All right. So if you're thinking about relocating to Florida, okay, there's 3 big surprises that a lot of people don't know, right? Number 1 is, of course, our property taxes. Number 2 is our homeowners insurance. And number 3 is our HOA, right? So property taxes are going to depend on the area. It's going to depend on the community, right? There are areas that are higher in property taxes, right? And then if you are going to be in a community with CDD, then your taxes are going to be higher because your CDD gets paid with your taxes. So it's going to seem a little bit higher. Janice said, we don't have HOA. Our landscaping is always on point. That's what I mean. Because growing up up north, a lot of the people's, you're not in an HOA, but everybody maintained their stuff, right? Like, it's kind of a way of life type of thing. Culture. Vic said culture. It's true though. It really is true though. Because even townhomes, because there's a lot of like attached multifamily in, let's just say, Staten Island, and you don't see where people even. So Vic's mom used to live on Van Duzer.
I was gonna say at the same time the city will issue citation real quick though.
Yeah, I know, but so will, I feel like Florida too. They issue citations pretty fast too, right? I don't know. Maybe it is culture. So, all right, property taxes, it's going to depend on where you're living, right? It's always going to depend on what area, if you're in a community, what their millage rate is. You already know that DeSantis is trying to get away with property taxes, right? That'd be a good thing. But again, something else is going to increase for us to not have any property taxes, right? But then you also, I don't know, does New York, New Jersey kind of have like a homestead exemption like they do here in Florida? I don't know how like it works up north. This is juice. This is not wine. It's juice. I'm not drinking on the job. No? Okay. All right. But let's talk about property taxes. Where do you currently live, and how much do you pay for property taxes? So I want to know, where do you currently live and how much do you pay for property taxes? Why are you laughing, Janet? All right. Janet said taxes in Jersey are ridiculous. I have heard that, Janet. I have heard that. All right. C. Escobar said Connecticut 8,000. Phil said Long Island 8,000. I mean, that's kind of like what you have out here, so it's not horrible. Depending, because I live in Davenport, but I have a CDD, so together my taxes are about 6,300, 6,500. Yeah, I think it's like 63, 6,500. Karen said, I literally have 2 HOAs in the Bronx, gated community I live in. Moving would be a savings for me. Wait, Pamela. Pamela said, I live in the Poconos. What's that? Where do we? PCP? Do you live in PCP, Pamela? Pamela said, I live in Poconos. My HOA started at $300, is now $2,000. Oh my gosh. Pamela, is it PCP? Pamela lives in PCP. We used to stay in PCP. Like right when you get off like that curve, the right community on the right hand side, as soon as you get off that curve. $2,000, is that $2,000 a year? I would hope so, right? 2,000, let me see. Is that $2,000 a year, Jen? Pamela? All right, so if it's 2,000 divided by 12, $166 per month. Yes, a year. So $167 per month, which is not horrible, but when you're talking about previously paying $300 per year and it's up to $2,000, no, that is really bad. Wow. Yeah, we lived in PCP for a little bit. Janet said we pay 13. Now that's a lot, Janet. That's a lot. You'll pay 13,000 here if you're in like $1 million+ house, depending. Zenaida said, I live in New Jersey. Depends where you live in New Jersey. I was living in Paramus and taxes were about $4,500, which isn't too bad. Karen said, we have an abatement for now, so my taxes are very low. Moving to Florida, I believe my taxes would double, but my HOA would decrease by 2/3 to 3/4. Wow. What's an abatement, Karen? Janice said, Paramus taxes are less because of all of the retail stores. Really, Janet? Okay, Joelle said our price is really coming down in Florida. I mean, we have seen where there are houses that are decreasing, right? But I'm telling you, once them interest rates come down, the prices are going to start increasing. But yes, I've seen a lot of like resale homes that are sitting on the market that are going through price reductions. Okay, James said Maryland, 6,800 for 7,200 square foot home. That's not bad. 3,550 for a 3,000 square foot home. 23-acre lot, 1,800. Homestead is 700 off of the 3,000 square foot house. Wow, those taxes are not bad at all. $6,800 for 7,200 square foot home. Damn, James, you live in a 7,200 square foot home? What do you do? Because I could use a 7,200 square foot home. I got to get I would have to have a person here cleaning every day because your girl, no. Okay, so Karen said mine started at $400. It's now about $900 every month. That's a lot. James said yes, machinist. James is the one who, okay, I mixed James with Phil as far as occupation. Yes, I remember you're saying you deal with the heavy machines. And you live in a 7,200 square foot home? That's a big house. Blanca's laughing at me. Raymond said, I renewed my contract up north because the $650,000 house in Cocoa was going to be $13,000 a year. In taxes, I believe it. Pedro said, Queen, okay, yes, Queens where I live, homes are over $1 million. Wait, Pedro, did you? Okay. Oh, wait, I missed that. Okay, Pedro said Queens landlords pays $10,000. Oh my goodness. Pedro, you're not wrong. Pedro said, remember in real estate, it's location, location, location. That's always been the case. Yes, absolutely. So location, location, location in Florida, like, or wherever you're gonna pay for the location, right? So there are, it's crazy. So for example, houses that are, let's just say, and as an example, Pulte Homes, they built here in Davenport, right? The same houses can be Cocoa Beach. The same houses can be $100,000 more in St. Cloud, or $150,000 more in Winter Garden, right? Or $100,000 more in Claremont, right? So you always pay for the location, always, always, always. Vic and I were just, Papi, baby, my love, you're the only one who I call Papi. Like, what's up? Oh, except the boys, but the kids. Was it yesterday or today? Where we were driving, and I think it was today, where we were driving and we were talking about how, how developed Davenport is becoming today, right? It was today. Because when we moved here 5 years ago, a lot of this stuff wasn't here. But that's how some people create so much equity and wealth, right? In where they first buy their home. Because when you buy in an area where it's not as established, right? Most likely is going to become established within, let's just say 5 or 10 years. And you're going to build equity. And that's what we did. This part of Davenport, I tell you guys all the time, when I drove, because I was coming from Claremont, but we were renting in Claremont. At the time, we wouldn't be able to afford a house in Claremont because we need a big house. We needed at least 5 bedrooms because we have the 6 kids. And I bought my house for $306, a 5-bedroom, and it's not a big house. It's almost 2,500 square feet. It's a small house. We've already outgrown this house, but again, I'm just not sure where I want to go next, right? But we're gonna rent this bad boy out. There's a new fire station being built. We have hospital. It's in schools, or yeah, it's crazy. We have built a lot of equity within the last 5 years, almost 200,000. But I'm not gonna sell this house, and I have a 1.99 interest rate. So I won't ever do no, I won't ever refinance. But we would do a HELOC so you could take out some equity. But okay, so Karen said when they built the community, New York gave them a tax break to build up the area. Okay, James said yes. So James has a 7,200 square foot home. Okay, James. And his shop is the 3,000 square foot house. Wait, so you're on 23 acres, James? Raymond said yes. Taxes in Cocoa, not Cocoa Beach. Cocoa. Pamela said just purchased 3,000. Pamela said, just purchased 3,000 square foot house in Rolling Hills. How much should I expect to pay in property taxes? Wait, Pamela, you bought here already? Who is your realtor? I'm just curious. So, let me see. That is Marion County tax raiser. I think is Hills of Ocala. Pamela said a nightmare. Oh yes, yes, Pamela, you're the one who used the Zillow agent, right? Okay, so let me show you guys something. James said yes, 23 acres front of development with 16 houses. That's cool. Yes, Pamela, I remember. So I want to say, let me see, 8002. Hills of Ocala, Denellen. Enter the assessed value. Pamela, how much did you buy your house for? What do you make it with the steak, Pa? Make the cauliflower mash, Pa. Or you got the gnocchi, but do you want gnocchi with that? All right. Pamela, let me know how much you paid for your house. I'm going to show you something. Kelly said, I pay $38.40. $38.40 with HOA for a townhome. 3,800. Okay, so 3,840. Do they take care of the maintenance, like the landscaping and all that, Kelly? 38.40. But you live in a really good area. Okay, so 320 a month. You live in a really good area. All right, so 450. Okay, and this is just an estimate, but let me show you guys. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me see. And this is what you guys could do. Like, you could do this and figure this out on your own. But let me show you. Hold on. Let me try to figure out how I share my screen. I always have technical difficulties. Share screen. Easiest way, share screen. It's requesting to. Okay, hold on. Window, this one. Okay. So you can literally go whatever county it is. You can go on the tax appraisers, and a lot of the websites will have like a property tax estimator. Okay. So, and again, guys, this is just an estimate. So Pamela bought her house for $450,000. Okay. So it's never going to be that $450,000. It's always going to be the assessed value. Normally they take 80% of the 400 of whatever the purchase price is, right? So if I do $450,000 times 80%, that's 360. So I'm going to enter the assessed value here, 360. Now, so this is Marion County. So you're gonna have different. You could essentially go into where the address is, and then see which code you are, because there's a whole bunch of different Ocala, right? Or you could do, or they have Bellevue, they have Denellen, they have McIntosh, Rainbow Lake Estates, Hills of Ocala, Reddick, the Villages, Silver Spring Shores, Marion Oaks, which we sell a lot of homes in Marion Oaks. They have Ocklawaha, and they have west of I-75. Okay, so let me homestead exemption, yes, it will be a homestead exemption, because if this is your primary residence, right? Why is it not working? Hold on. Enter just value. Homesteaded. All right, let's try this. 450.
Or can I use the bathroom? Because somebody's in that bathroom. Can I use upstairs?
So this is just an estimate.
Mommy, can I use upstairs bathroom?
So 7,700. But also you have to see if you're in Rolling Hills, sometimes you are on the borderline. See, so Hills of Ocala is 6,400, right? And again, guys, this is just an estimate to kind of have a better idea. And if it wasn't homesteaded, you'll see. So you save a lot of money. So if it was homesteaded, 6,472. No homestead, $7,111, right? So a lot. Let's say you bought Marion Oaks, a $450,000 home, homesteaded. Calculate 6,800. Let me see. Normally let's see, $325,000, but then we have to, let's see, calculate. All right, so let's see, 450,000. Let's go back to the Nellen, homesteaded, calculated. Yeah, but then the assessed value would probably 80%. So you're looking probably around, if it's the Nellen, or it could be Hills of Ocala too. I don't know your address, but just an idea, just to kind of show you. Hold on. Just to kind of show you. But obviously we have less taxes than Jersey. Okay, James said I was in Palm Coast last month for a funeral. Stayed in a 2-year-old 1,800 square foot house. Very beautiful, but way too small. A good thing to do before you buy. Absolutely, right? And that's why I always say, like, so for example, and I was talking to Blanca about this, because there's a lot of houses, let's just say in the like $250,000 price range, 250 to 275. Let's just put that price range out there, right? There's a lot of houses in that price point. However, they're pretty small, right? So it's gonna depend. Like, even some people, so for example, Blanca, she has a small family. It's her and her husband. But when you're coming from 1,600 square feet, right, or 1,700 square feet, and you are now looking at houses that are like 1,450, right, it's a bigger difference. And just because you're a small family doesn't mean you need to be in a small house, right? Like, people like space. And so that's why we got Blanca oh my gosh, we got Blanca a really nice house. It's like 1,831 square feet, a 3-bedroom plus an office. So I'm super excited for them. Super excited for them. But yeah, so it's just gonna depend, right? Like, you need to see what how that, sometimes where it feels like, yes, it's let's just say a 1,600 square foot house, right? Sometimes the layout it works for people, but then sometimes it just feels cramped, right? So it's just gonna depend. That's why I always say you have to walk a house. You're taking a big risk by not walking a house, right? I have sold homes where I haven't even met my clients yet. So funny story, we had one family that was relocating from New Hampshire and to Florida, right? And when I tell you, like, they didn't even walk the house. They, they saw it online. They actually, yeah, they saw it online, and they bought it, and it worked out, right? But there's always that risk where it's like, oh my gosh, like, what if they don't actually love the house in person, but they loved it. And funny story, we closed last December, right before the new year, and I hadn't met them yet, right? Because everything was done virtually. So we share, the husband and I share, a common place where we both bake, right? He used to work at a bakery, and he bakes, and I bake too. And so he put me on his email blast where he was going to be in Winter Haven at a farmer's market selling, cakes and breads and bagels and all that stuff. So when we went, we I went yesterday morning before, because I went to Wesley Chapel with Katrina to record. But before I went there, I went to the farmers market, and I surprised them, and I put it on my story and on Instagram, and they were so excited. It was like it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. But there's clients that I haven't met in person yet, because everything was just done virtually. Even closing was done where they're at, right? Toya said, hello, Alexis. I am thinking about relocating and looking at Kissimmee. What area would you recommend? So Kissimmee is pretty big, Toya, right? You have different parts of Kissimmee. So you have Kissimmee, where it's closest to like Hunters Creek, Meadowwoods, around there. I definitely love that area, right? You have Kissimmee, where you are closest to kind of like OBT, where the zip code is 34746. And it's not in Poinciana, but it's on the way to Poinciana. There you're gonna find resales and new construction. You have Kissimmee, where you're closest to St. Cloud. And then you have Kissimmee, where you're like in Poinciana, right? And Poinciana is nice if you don't have to commute every day, I feel, right? Because Poinciana can have a lot of traffic. It can have a lot of traffic. So the deeper you get into Poinciana, the harder you're gonna get out. It's gonna be harder to get out, right? So you're gonna run into a lot of traffic. I mean, a lot of people who work from home or retired, they like Poinciana, and there's a lot of stores and shopping now and gyms and all of that other stuff. But there's an area in Poinciana where it's closest to Haines City, and they're building a lot of new construction there, right? But again, it's all gonna depend on where you work, right? So I want to be near to the airport, as I would need to travel for work. Okay, so if you want to be close to the airport, it's gonna depend on your price point, to be very honest with you, right? So St. Cloud, you could be about 35 minutes away from the airport. Of course, Orlando, right? Where else? I mean, Winter Garden, you're about 35 minutes from the airport. Hunters Creek, you're about like 20 minutes. Davenport, depending on where you live in Davenport, if you're closest to the highway, you'll be in, it could take you, depending on what time you have to leave, it could take, so for me, if I leave early in the morning, if I have like a 6 a.m., 7 a.m. flight, I could get to the airport in 30 minutes, right? But if it's during rush hour traffic, it may take me closer to 45 minutes. So it's going to depend on your price point too, honestly. Because of course, the closer you get, depending on what type of house you want, the more expensive. They have a community called Everby, built by Pulte Homes in Orlando, when you're literally 15 minutes away from the airport. But the prices are, the townhomes are going for like 450,000, right? The single family homes are 6, 7, 8, 9 and above. What was the area you mentioned before Poinciana? So St. Cloud, not wanting to go above 450. Okay. So You have, but it depends because 34741, which is Kissimmee, which is closest to like the Hunters Creek area, which Hunters Creek is pretty close to Orlando International Airport. When I first moved to Florida, I lived in Hunters Creek. And you take 417 to the airport, you're there in 15 minutes. But there's not a lot of new construction in Hunters Creek. There's a lot of resale homes in Hunters Creek. So it depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, it depends on what, like if you want new construction, right? St. Cloud, maybe. My in-laws live in St. Cloud and it takes about 30-35 minutes. Lake Nona, you're right there, right? But Lake Nona, you're already in the 5, 6, 7 millions. So it's just gonna depend. But there's a lot of areas. Raymond said when I move back, it's definitely going to be Brevard County. Really? Why Brevard, Raymond? Neural said, could the realtor walk the house for a client? Absolutely. I do it all the time. I have a lot of clients where either they're in Miami and they're not going to drive the 5 hours to do a walkthrough, right? I do it for them. I have a lot of clients from up north, New York, New Jersey, California, and yeah, we'll walk the property for them. So there's so for example, wow, yeah, we do a lot. We do a lot of walkthroughs for our clients who just can't be here. One of my clients who they're selling their condo in Miami and they're gonna move to Ocala, they're not gonna do the first walkthrough, right? So if they don't do the first walkthrough, they have for Highland Homes, they have to give me power of attorney just for that walkthrough. And I've done it plenty of times. Yeah, I've done it plenty of times. I have it, no lie. I've built such a trust with my clients that they know I got them. And I always say, like, so for example, you could walk a house 100 times and there's always something that you didn't see, right? Especially like when it comes to pain or things like that, right? But those things are easily like addressed with the construction manager if we missed anything. But any major items, like any noticeable items, we're fine. We'll have them addressed then and there. But again, I'm not an inspector, right? So it's like I'm there to do like a cosmetic walkthrough. Like if I see there's a patch of paint that's missing, okay, we need to get that. If I see that, one thing, and I always say this, is that countertops are not covered under warranty, right? So every time I'm walking a house, I always run my finger on the edges of the quartz or granite, whatever countertops, and I run my finger through the entire counters to see if there's any dents or indents or anything like that. So we need to get that addressed prior to closing because they don't cover that under warranty. So there's a lot of things that I look for. Of course, the caulking around the bathrooms and things like that. There's a lot of visible things. Some of my clients, when they walk the house, they're just walking, and I'm like, guys, we have to let's. Sometimes it's super huh? It's overwhelming, but then some. I could appreciate the construction managers where they're like, okay, we're gonna start on this wall, we're gonna stay on the left, and we're gonna go this way, so that we're not like in 5 different 5 different rooms at the same time, driving the construction manager crazy. Man, that was it this year or was it last year? The with the Morales family. Yeah, with DR Horton. I think that had to been one of our most difficult walkthroughs ever. So number one, I don't go to inspections. Like if you decide to have a third party inspection, I don't go to that inspection because there's no need for me to be there. It's a waste of my time, and I'm what? And I'm gonna be in the way. Like the inspectors know what they're doing. They give us a report at the end of the day, right? If we have any questions, if we need any clarification, good. That's it. We give the inspection to the construction manager, blah blah blah. What I do go to is the walkthroughs, when we're walking with the construction manager, right? Anyways, I think I told you guys this. What happened? Huh? Baby, I'm not doing my hair today, baby. I'm doing it on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm doing it on Tuesday. It's fine. Um, worst walkthrough we've ever been to. Vic is my, like, he's my big teddy bear, but if he sees stuff that's just super shady, like, he turns into
You call me a Karen.
he turns into a Karen. No, but seriously, the construction manager was very, very unprofessional. And he was just like, oh well, that's what you get when you are in, I don't even know how much the house was costing, but he was very dismissive and all that. We were just like, no, this is not the way it's gonna go down. I was like, he's like, oh, we just walked all those other houses. I was like, well, those other houses didn't have a realtor like us, because what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna sit here and say that this is okay. Like, no. Oh well, I mean, that's what you get when you're buying a $350,000 house. Excuse me? What did you just tell me? And my clients were right there. No lie. I promise you. That's what he told me. That's what he told us. He said, well, this is what you get when you're buying a $350,000 house. Excuse me? Ooh, I done lost my mind. I sent everybody an email. Huh? In the car. Oh, yeah. Okay, Toya said, okay, thank you. Yes, new construction. I'm going to reach out to you by the end of the week. Yes, Toya, definitely reach out to us. Pedro said, also forgot to mention that they're expanding the highway to have an exit by Beverly Hills. Airport run going to be shorter by 30 minutes. And Sunworld is going into Beverly Hills as well. Phil said, that's the way a manager walks a store. Is the moisture inspection part of the normal pre-drywall inspection? No. Oh, yes. That's a lie. Yes. So the inspectors, well, no. Let me back this up. So if you're doing a pre-drywall inspection with the construction manager, no. You don't see them with a gun checking the moistures on the drywall. With a inspector, a third-party inspector, yes, that is a part of their pre-drywall inspection, their checklist, where they're checking the moisture in the walls. Even if it isn't a pre-drywall inspection and it's a completed home, they're still checking it to see if there's any moisture in the walls. So we one of my clients bought, no lie, it was almost $700,000 house in Mount Dora, and we had a third-party inspection come and inspect the house, and they did the moisture, and we had to like get another company involved because it showed that there was moisture in the garage inner wall, right? So that's why, I'm sorry, I'm a person that I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? Type of thing. I've always been like that. So when I travel with a whole bunch of things, right, baby? Like, I'm like, that's how I always been. So I'd rather spend $500-$600 on an inspection, and you tell me that there's hardly anything that's on that checklist. I'm cool with that. That's the best $500-$700 I've ever spent, right? But if there's things on there that we can't see that's visible to the eye, right? And we don't know, like, so for example, I had one of my clients where we're talking with the builder's agent, and this is why I always tell you guys, I say, at the end of the day, the builder's sales agent works for the builder, guys. You need that outside representation. So let me tell you. So he goes, I always prep my clients. I always tell them about a third-party inspection and all this other stuff, right? And so they bring it up, which I already know how this builder works. So I already know what we need to do in order to get an inspector there and all that other stuff. But my clients are older and it's okay. So they're talking about the inspection, and then the builder sales agent was like, I mean, you know, you could do whatever you want to. He said, but why would you get an inspection done and pay $500-$600 when it's a brand new house and it's under warranty? And I was like, you know, that made that face like that's come on now. That I don't like that. I don't like that. Just because there's warranty, you think you want to go on, you want to close on a house that there's something wrong, and then you're gonna have to go through warranty and all these other different departments and get them all scheduled out, and then we're gonna have to be on top of them because our clients end up calling us back and be like, can you help us with this? Absolutely, I got you, because it's way past, you know, it's not only, I don't only got you during the transaction, I got you afterwards. What do you need, right? And so I just don't like that stuff. I don't like that. I don't like it. Like, and then so he's like, oh, well, you could do whatever you want to do. It doesn't make any difference to me. But why would you have an inspection done if it's a brand new house and we have to go through, you know, the city comes out for every, the builder comes, the city comes out for every phase of the construction and all this other stuff. I was like, stop right there. I said, stop right there. I said, because, yo, those city inspectors are on payroll. Let's call it for what it is. Some of those city inspectors are on payroll, because there was a community in Orlando, no lie. Community in Orlando, it got CO'd, which certificate of occupancy, went through all of the freaking different inspections by the county and all that other stuff. Most of them houses didn't even have insulation in the attic. Oh, but we go, that's one thing that I cannot stand to hear. Oh, this house has to go through all the city inspections and all that other stuff. That don't mean nothing to me. That don't mean nothing to me. Because if you buddy with the seller, the builder, the construction manager, blah, 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 they're going to be like, oh, we'll let that pass, right? Nah, not over here. Woo! Don't get me started. And I'll turn up real quick too. Like, there's no, because what we're not going to do is we're not going to steer my clients the wrong way. All right. Nikki said, hi, I'm interested in a house I saw on Zillow in Ocala. The house is listed one family on the records, but they renovated it to 3 apartments. Will I have any problems if I buy and I want to sell in the future? So, Nikki, it depends, right? So what happens is that sometimes homeowners don't take out permits, okay? And they do things that they do structural changes and all that without permits. If you're financing, you're going to run into problems. I've seen it before. If you're paying cash, you won't run into any problems in that sense, as far as you're not being able to buy it, unless there's any liens on the house, right? Then that's a title search, then that's different. But with the appraiser, you're gonna come into issues with that if they didn't permit it correctly, or if they didn't even have it permitted, right? So it's not that it's not that you will or you won't. It just depends. It just depends. James said, on a new to be built, I want to be the last to sign the contract. Well, honestly, James, most of the times the seller builder is the last one to sign the contract, right? So we would have to see how we would maneuver that one. Many builders don't take care of warranty issues anyways, or there's limited warranties, right? So let me tell you guys, guys, I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. You guys, I'm getting heated right now. I'm getting heated. Okay. And this is why I don't advertise their houses on my channel or none of that. So let me tell you, I got to stand up for this one. So I helped one of my clients buy a second home, right? They live in the Miami area. On my contract, I put that the builder is offering a 1 to 10 builder's warranty, okay? We closed on the house, and it's not until after you close where the warranty gets transferred and all of that, right? So it just so happens that they're like, well, no, that we only offer a 1 year workmanship warranty and a 7 year structural warranty. And I was like, well, according to the contract that your seller signed, we're supposed to get a 1 to 10 builder's warranty. 1 year for workmanship, 2 years for behind the walls, the mechanicals like the plumbing, the AC, things like that, right? And 10 years structural, right? Ooh, the seller was so upset. Like, we had to fight with them. Katrina and myself had to keep like going back and forth. And my client wasn't playing. My client was like, yo, I will take them to court. And I'm just like, yo, I got you. Just stay there. I got you. Let me handle this, right? So there's one thing that I will say that it made this so much easier, where the listing agent was on board with, as far as like, oh, okay, like I see where it was said that on the um the contract and all this other stuff. So it ended up being where this warranty, the 1 to 10 builder's warranty, especially the structural warranty, the builder has to be bought by the builder. It's not like we could come and buy it, right? It has to be built, it has to be bought by the builder. So yo, it literally took us maybe like 60 days to get it all figured out. And we were just super relentless about it, right? And this is where I say, you know, who you hire as your real estate agent is extremely important, because there's a lot of real estate agents that they're like, oh, I got paid, I'm out, right? Now, there have been situations, oh, hold on, let me sit down now. There have been situations where, you know, like things go wrong. Like, and that's why I say that I got you, because I'm gonna ride with you. We're gonna figure it out, right? But things do go wrong. And I told you about the whole situation with the grass, where it was super tall, and then it was just a freaking domino effect, right? Well, when you when and our clients, right, where the husband was extremely disrespectful to us, especially Katrina, like cursing at her and all this other stuff. Absolutely not. And then gloating to the people who was mowing the lawn, like, oh yeah, I put my realtor in her place, some type of like something along the lines of that, right? Not verbatim. That, I'm sorry, I wash my hands. At that point, you're gonna have to figure it out on yourself, because what we're not gonna do is you're gonna disrespect me or my team. Like, we're humans and we deserve respect, right? Because we're trying to do what we need to do to fix the situation. Who don't get me started? Okay. Hi, my name is Carl. My wife and I follow you. We're from New York City and we love you. We have a 2-story house in Marion Oaks, Unit 11, and want to buy the lot next door. Can you handle this for us? So it's going to depend, right? So all the lots are owned individually by somebody, whether they've had it since the 90s, the early 2000s, whether they bought it last year, right? So if it's not for sale, we have to see who owns it. We can send them a letter saying that we're interested in it. But what you have to remember too is there's so many scams out here. So the person might not even reply, right? So it's just going to depend. You don't see a lot of 2 stories in Marion Oaks. How long have you lived in Marion Oaks for? Okay. All right. Ray said that's why. Oh shoot, it's past 6 o'clock. Listen, I've been talking here. I mean, it's past 6:30. We've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm just like rambling over here. My bad, guys. Okay. Ray said That's why I'm getting a home with True. You already know we got you, Ray, when you're ready. Janet said, LOL, Alexis, that's the New Yorker in you. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Gregorio said, don't understand why someone would not use their own realtor, especially when the builder would pay the realtor fees, at least for the moment, at least for the most of it. Absolutely. Listen, hello. You know, it's so crazy. It is so crazy. Um, I think it's just the people are not educated, to be very honest with you, right? Like there are a lot of people just not educated in the sense of like how this works. And that's why I always try to stay in the videos where it's like, don't go to a brand new construction community without me, right? I have so many people who are like, oh, I just wanted to explore, I'm just looking right now. That's where they get you though, because they gonna ask for your information. They gonna have your first name, your last name, your phone number, your email. That's that they got you, because then they're going to be like, well, your realtor wasn't here on the first try. Lennar does that. Lennar does that. And then it's just like, well, then I don't know I can't help you. I can't help you. Or it's the people who, I charge X amount, right? I charge X amount. I deserve every penny that I charge. We put in my team puts in a lot of work, and I got a family to feed at the end of the day, right? Most of the times the builders pay exactly what I charge, so it doesn't come out of my clients' pockets, right? Now, if there's a situation where my clients is tight, they're tight on money and things like that, we're gonna work with you, right? It's not that serious. Like, but there's some people who have the money and who are like, well, I don't want to pay anything extra. And those are the people who are one of the worst people to work with, to be very honest with you. The ones, because they don't really value you and your work. And that's just that's the very truth, right? Like if I charge X amount, it's for a reason. If the builder is only paying X amount and there's a difference, then that goes on to my clients pay that. Yo, I've had clients where like, yo, I don't care how much you charge, like I know you got me, right? And those are the people that I want to work with. Like they know that I got them, they know that I'm gonna get them the best deal, right? But again, there are people who just don't have it. That's a different story. That's a different story. Hey, Alan with a Y. Okay. Cherie said, hi Alexis, any feedback on Onyx Builder in Groveland? I had clients who actually moved from the Miami area into that community. They built some really nice houses, some really structurally sound houses, right? We've had inspectors on those houses as well, and they got everything they needed to get done. So I like Onyx. I like Onyx Homes. I like their builds. You could like make some small changes, but that community doesn't have like resort style amenities, Charisse. So that's why I didn't bring that to your attention, because it doesn't have the resort style amenities that you were looking for. Nikki said the house has a violation on it, but I was really interested in it. But the realtor I contacted on Zillow said they're not really explaining things to me. But can I contact you sometimes? Maybe you can help me. Yeah, absolutely, Nikki. You can schedule some time to talk with us. So that's what happens, right? So Pamela actually used the agent from Zillow. So what happens is that sometimes people think that they're actually speaking to the agent who listed the property, right? But that's not how it goes. So a lot of teams, a lot of real estate teams, a lot of agents pay Zillow to give them your contact information so that they could call you, right? So that's how it works. But yeah, you can as long as you don't have a buyer broker agreement with that realtor, then yeah, you can definitely reach out to us. Gregorio said, I think people use the contractor realtor thinking they're going to get benefits of some sort when their only objective is to sell the house. Yeah. And I mean, I would say here that not all agents are created equal, right? So there's some agents that are just, they do some shady stuff, right? Some agents will only take you to, let's just say, some agent, and I'm not kidding you, some agents will only show you homes that they know, like let's say big builders, that they know that those big builders are paying a bonus, right? Or they're paying the highest commission and things like that. I just don't rock like that. Like if you buy a house where they're offering a bonus, then that's great. I love it, right? I love that for me too. But I'm not gonna like be like, oh well, you need to buy this house. This is the perfect house for you, and I know it's because I'm gonna get a bonus on this. Like that just don't fly with me. Neural Nexus said, I think knowing the mechanics of a home is important, such as structural, plumbing, electrical, foundation, etc. Yeah, absolutely. James said, on the coast, there's a structural warranty company that gives you 10 years. If you look them up, the reviews are shocking, mostly zeros. Oh my gosh. I believe it though. Hi, Arlene. Built the house in 2005. Oh, wow. Yeah. Like I said, you don't really see too many two-story homes in Marion Oaks, but you do. You do have them, but you don't see too many of them. Oh, Pedro, how you remember that, Pedro? Babe, Pedro said, wow, you remind me of the time you mentioned that the agent for the seller wanted to have the paperwork signed at McDonald's and you weren't having that. That part, no thank you. Excuse me, we're signing where? At a McDonald's? Absolutely not. Oh, hot. Mmm. Yes. We were like, no, we're not signing at a McDonald's. Like, we're going through some really private information and you want us to sign where? At a McDonald's? No. No, no, and absolutely no. I actually have real estate agents, partner agents that sell in Staten Island. I don't have my license in New York, so I wouldn't be able to me actually sell it. But I definitely have partner agents that can sell the house in Staten Island. Where in Staten Island? I'm super curious. Let me know. Reach out to us so that I can see the lot next to you. I can get that information. All right, I'm reading the rest of this and then let me see. Phil, you said, but why can't you look? I don't get it. I don't know what you're talking about because I was talking about so many different things. Yeah. So, Carl, you have a two-story in Marion Oaks. You were interested in the lot next door, right? But that's when I explained about the whole lots. You have a house to sell in Staten Island. So you don't move. Okay, so you don't primarily live here in Ocala, in Florida. I can definitely put you in contact with one of my partner agents that sells in Staten Island. You're welcome, Nikki. I appreciate you. Cerise said, thank you, Alexis. I appreciate you keeping our wants a priority. Yes, Cerise, you know I got you in that sense. It doesn't get it really that community doesn't give you that resort style, like it just doesn't. It really and it doesn't have those amenities. Pedro said, you're worth remembering. Looking forward to working with you when I move to Florida. Yes, Pedro, I can't believe you remember that, Pedro. Yes. Actually, it was that client, it was her birthday. For you maybe last week. I just reached out to her too. Whoever's on here, whoever's my current client and my past client, we are doing a client appreciation event. I'm thinking and I'm hoping in the beginning of November. I think we were trying to shoot for Saturday, November 8th. Let me see. Yeah, Saturday, November 8th. I wanted to have it at a restaurant, but I'm gonna do the middle point. I know I have a lot of people in Ocala. I have a lot of people in like the Davenport area, Orlando area. So I'm thinking about doing it Orlando, Kissimmee. I was actually thinking about maybe having a dinner at Gloria Esteban's restaurant. It's a vibe. The food is really, 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 really good. So if you've been my past client or if you're currently my client, you know, and we're gonna be sending you invites. I'm a little nervous because last year we did a client appreciation event and we had a lot of people say that they were coming and a lot of people didn't come, and it was just like, it was heartbreaking a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I was a little discouraged, but I was happy to see whoever came. But yes, I'm excited for that. Gloria, I'm thinking we're gonna do Gloria Esteban, like a restaurant type of thing, just a chill vibe, great food, great company, great music. So yeah. So November 8th, I think. Oh, next to St. George. Okay. I used to live on Beach. Well, my husband's parents lived on Van Duzer for a long time. I lived there for a little bit with them. And that was next to the ferry. James said, I did a settlement at Starbucks once. Oh my gosh, James. Oh, you go back and forth, Carl? Okay. All right, guys, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday with me. You guys give me so much energy. Sometimes I'm just like extremely tired from the week. And but you guys give me so much. This hour and a half went so fast. It went so fast. I absolutely love each and every one of you guys. Tomorrow we're doing Monday's video is going to be a video of the passion flower K Hovnanian, which is in Ocala. It's the one that has a separate in-law suite. Tuesday most likely is going to be Wesley Chapel. You'll see Katrina. Love Katrina. You'll see us there. I think the first one is going to be the one that we did. It's under $500,000. It's a newly renovated home on an acre, no HOA. You can have your farm animals. It's actually really unrestricted living. Like, there's no deed restrictions or anything like that. So stay tuned for that on Tuesday, okay? Yeah, this week we have a closing with one of our clients who's actually bought the passion flower in Ocala. So that's happening on Wednesday. We're also Vic is gonna, we have like a giving back opportunity. So Vic is gonna go to Give Kids the World Village here, and they're gonna start putting up the Christmas lights and things like that. So we have a busy week. You guys know how to reach me. Guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the videos, the channel, comment. It goes a long way. YouTube pushes it out to other people. Again, we love you guys so much. Stay tuned to next Sunday where we'll be here on live. We'll chop it up. I never know what I'm going to talk about until the day of, whatever is just in my soul to talk about. But again, I love you guys so much. You guys know how to reach me. Have an amazing week.